Someone is very much in love with you, and it is because of an action you took. Read this before it feels like the moment has passed. This message did not reach you by accident. And no, this is not just a flashy beginning. There is a genuine reason you felt drawn toward these specific words, a reason your eyes moved slower for a bit and decided to stay, a reason a soft voice inside you whispered, "Keep reading." It is because a person, a real person, someone you know currently or once knew in the past, is going through a tough time at this very second. They are having a hard time because of you, not because you ran after them, not because you begged them to remain, not because you asked over and over for answers, closure, or promises, but because you stopped doing something they assumed you would always continue doing. And that single change shifted everything between the two of you. Hello everyone, welcome to Never Give Up. Please remember to subscribe, hit the bell, and select all, because every single video has the power to shift how you think and feel. Now let us start quietly without any noise. There was a moment in your life when you decided to choose yourself. It was not a loud event. It was not full of drama. There was no grand speech, no public goodbye, no obvious ending. It was silent, almost invisible, but it was very real. One day you simply decided you could not keep giving pieces of your soul away just to keep another person comfortable. Perhaps you stopped being the one who always sent the first text. Maybe you stopped explaining your emotions again and again to someone who never truly paid attention. Maybe you stopped waiting by your phone, hoping for a reply that came very late or not at all. Maybe you stopped forgiving the same pain over and over. Or maybe you just stopped trying so hard to be good enough for someone who could not see your true value. It looked minor from the outside, but inside your heart, it was a massive step. You chose peace. You chose respect. You chose to guard your heart. And that is what changed every single thing, because the person who is now deeply in love with you never expected that from you. They thought you would always be there, always available, always understanding, always ready to give even more, even when you were completely drained. They became accustomed to your presence, used to your care, used to your patience. And when you pulled that energy back, not in anger, not in hatred, but in quiet self-respect, they felt it in their soul. For the first time, they noticed the space you used to fill. At first, they may not have realized it. They might have thought you were just occupied, that you would return to your old habits soon. But days went by, then more days, and you did not go back. You did not chase. You did not ask. You did not remind them of what you gave. You simply stood still in your own life and kept moving forward. And slowly, it hit them. Something was different. You were different. And they started to feel the loss of you in places they never knew you touched. Now they think about you constantly. When the day becomes still, when there is no one left to talk to, when something good happens and they want to share it, but realize they no longer can. They remember how you used to listen, how you cared about tiny things, how you made room for them even when your own world was feeling heavy. They replay moments in their head, simple talks, small laughs, long messages, and suddenly those memories carry a lot of weight. Suddenly, you are not just a person from their past. You are the one they cannot stop thinking about. They watch you from a distance now, maybe through social media, maybe through mutual friends, or maybe just in their private thoughts. They see you growing, healing, smiling more, and living your life. And that hurts them because they realize you are becoming someone even more beautiful without them. Not because you are trying to show off, but because you are finally free to be yourself. They want to reach out to you. They think about sending a message. They type out words and then delete them. They wonder if you would even care to hear from them. They fear they waited far too long. They fear you have moved on to someone else. And that fear is very heavy because now they know what they could lose for good. You see, when you were always there, your love felt safe to them, almost too safe, like something that would never go away. But when you stepped back, they finally understood that love is not endless if it is not respected, that people do not stay forever when they are not valued, and that lesson is waking something deep inside of them. So yes, someone is in love with you, not just in a simple way, but in a way that keeps them awake at night, in a way that makes them replay your name in their mind over and over, in a way that fills them with regret and hope at the same time. Regret for what they did not do, hope that maybe, just maybe, they still have a chance, and you may not even know it. You may think they forgot you entirely. You may think you were easy to replace with someone else. You may believe you did not matter that much to them. But the truth is, your absence is louder than your presence ever was, because now they feel it in every quiet moment. This message is not here to tell you to go back. It is not here to push you to reach out to them. It is here to remind you of your own worth, to show you that choosing yourself did not make you lose love. It revealed how powerful your love truly was. It showed who cared when you stopped giving for free. If they come back, it will not be because you begged them. It will not be because you chased them down. It will be because they finally see you. They finally understand what you meant in their life. And if they do not come back, that is okay too, because you have already won something much greater. You have found yourself again. So remember this: the moment you chose your peace, your value became very clear. The moment you stopped trying to be enough, you showed that you already were. And somewhere right now, someone is feeling the weight of that truth. Someone is realizing they fell in love with you when it was almost too late. Keep going. Keep choosing yourself. Because real love does not come from losing who you are. It comes from being brave enough to stand in your worth, even if it means standing alone for a while. And that is exactly what you did. Just a small shift, a quiet change, a silence where there used to be a lot of effort, a calm place where there was once anxiety, a pause where there used to be too much explaining. You did not walk away in anger. You did not leave to hurt them or to teach them a lesson. You did not disappear to make them feel small. You simply stopped leaving yourself behind. You stopped putting your needs last on the list. You stopped breaking your own heart just to keep theirs comfortable. And the moment you did that, something deep inside them cracked open. They did not expect this at all. In their mind, you were always going to be there. Always kind, always understanding, always forgiving, always waiting, always hoping that one day they would finally choose you the way you chose them. They believed your love was a sure thing. They believed your care had no limit. They believed no matter what they did, you would stay. And when someone thinks your presence is guaranteed, they stop protecting it. They stop treating it as something precious. They stop making it a priority. They stop feeding it with attention and care. They delay it. They push it aside. They assume there will always be more time in the future. But then without noise, without drama, something changed. You stopped reminding them of your value. You stopped explaining why their words hurt you. You stopped trying to prove your loyalty to them. You stopped fighting to be seen. You stopped showing up where you were no longer met with the same energy. And that silence, that quiet space you left behind became very loud, so loud that they could not ignore it, so loud that it followed them into their thoughts, so loud that it filled the places where your voice used to be. This is where the obsession begins. People do not fall deeply in love when they feel in control. They fall deeply in love when they realize they may have already lost you, when they feel the ground shift under their feet, when they understand that what they took for granted might be gone forever. That is when fear wakes up love. That is when absence makes the heart finally see. Now they replay moments in their mind. Simple talks, small smiles, the way you listened when no one else did, the way you cared about things others ignored, the way you made space for them even when you were very tired. They remember how you stayed calm when things were heavy, how you tried to fix what was breaking, how you held on when it would have been easier to let go, and now they see it clearly because you are no longer doing it. They feel the empty places you used to fill in the quiet of the night, in the middle of a busy day, in moments when something happens and you are the first person they want to tell, but then they remember you are not there anymore. And that hurts. It hits them in waves. Sometimes soft, sometimes heavy, but it does not stop. At first, they might tell themselves it does not matter, that they are fine, that they do not need you, that life goes on. But deep inside something feels wrong, something feels missing, and slowly they begin to understand it is you, not just your presence, but your energy, your care, your way of making them feel seen and accepted. They start to realize how rare that was. You see, when you were always there, your love felt safe to them, almost too safe, like air, always around, never noticed. But when the air changes, when it becomes thin, when it is harder to breathe, only then do you understand how much you needed it. That is what your absence is doing to them now. It is showing them what life feels like without your steady care. They begin to question themselves. Why did they not try harder? Why did they delay? Why did they think they had forever? Why did they not protect what was so clearly real? And with every question, their feelings grow stronger, because now they are not just missing you. They are missing the version of themselves they were when you were around. The version that felt supported, the version that felt important, the version that felt loved. Meanwhile, you are different now, not because you became cold, not because you stopped caring, but because you learned to care about yourself too. You learned that love should not feel like losing yourself. You learned that being kind does not mean accepting pain. You learned that staying silent is sometimes stronger than explaining again and again to someone who does not listen. You learned that walking forward is sometimes the only way to survive. And from a distance they can see that change in you, maybe through pictures, maybe through shared spaces, maybe just in their memory. They see you looking calmer, stronger, more at peace. And that is confusing for them because part of them wants you to still be waiting, still hoping, still open. But another part sees that you are growing without them, and that truth hurts more than anything. They want to reach out. They think about it again and again. They open a message, write a few words, then delete them. They wonder what they would even say. They wonder if you would reply. They wonder if they waited too long. Fear stops them, but hope keeps pushing. It is a battle inside their heart, one they never had to fight when you were always there. You did not plan any of this. You were not trying to make them miss you. You were just tired. Tired of being the one who always gave more. Tired of being patient while your own needs were ignored. Tired of feeling like you had to earn love that should have been freely given. So you chose yourself. And in choosing yourself, you became the one thing they can no longer reach easily. Now, your silence speaks for you. It tells them you are no longer willing to beg for space in someone's life. It tells them you finally understand your worth. It tells them that your heart is not something to play with, and they hear that message even if no words are said. This does not mean you should go back. This does not mean you should break your peace just because someone finally sees what they lost. It only means you should understand how powerful your presence always was, how much your love mattered, how choosing yourself did not make you lose love, but showed who truly valued it. If they come back, it will not be because you chased them. It will not be because you explained one more time. It will not be because you proved your loyalty again. It will be because they finally understand what life feels like without you, and they cannot ignore it anymore. And if they do not come back, that is still okay, because you have already gained something more important. You have gained yourself. So hold on to this truth. The quiet moment when you stopped abandoning yourself changed everything. The pause you took to breathe gave you strength. The silence you chose showed your value. And somewhere right now, someone is feeling the weight of that silence. Someone is realizing they fell in love with you when it might already be too late. Keep walking forward. Keep choosing peace over chaos. Keep choosing respect over empty hope. Because real love does not ask you to shrink. It does not ask you to beg. It does not ask you to lose yourself. Real love meets you where you stand in your worth, in your calm, in your truth. And you, by simply stopping the old patterns, have shown just how strong and beautiful that truth really is. Right now, this person is replaying so many moments in their mind. Your laugh that came so naturally. Your patience when things were not easy. The way you cared without keeping account. The way you stayed even when it would have been simpler to walk away. They go over these memories again and again, sometimes without even meaning to. And the hardest part for them is this: they did not truly see your value until your energy stopped reaching for them. Until you were no longer the one always leaning in. Until you were no longer the one trying to close the distance. Only then did they begin to feel it. They feel it even if they never say a word. Even if they have not sent you a message, even if they act fine when others look at them, even if they pretend they are busy or unbothered or completely okay. Deep inside they feel the absence because you were not just someone who liked them. You were not just someone who passed time with them. You were someone who truly saw them. You noticed the small things. You understood their moods. You paid attention to what they did not say. And when someone loses the person who really sees them, they do not just miss the relationship. They miss who they were when they were loved by you. They miss how they felt important. They miss how they felt understood. They miss how they felt safe. Now they look at their life and something feels off. The days still move. The world still goes on. People still talk and laugh around them. But something inside feels quieter, heavier. It is the space you used to fill, the space where your care lived, the space where your voice used to bring comfort. They may try to distract themselves. They may keep busy. They may tell themselves it does not matter. But in quiet moments, when there is nothing to hide behind, your absence speaks louder than any words ever did. They remember how you listened without rushing, how you gave time even when you were tired, how you showed up even when you had your own worries. They remember how you believed in them sometimes more than they believed in themselves. And now they realize how rare that was. They realize not everyone loves like that. Not everyone stays like that. Not everyone sees like that. And knowing they may have lost it forever hurts in a way they did not expect. You did something rare. You did not harden your heart. You did not turn cold or cruel. You did not change into someone you were not. You did not try to get revenge. You did not try to make them jealous. You did not try to prove a point. You simply stepped back with dignity. You chose to keep your heart soft, but no longer available to be hurt. You chose peace instead of drama. You chose yourself instead of staying where you were not fully valued. That kind of self-respect is powerful. It is magnetic because it quietly tells the universe and everyone in it, I know who I am even if you do not. I know my worth even if you forgot it. I know what I deserve even if you could not give it. And when you reached that place inside yourself, it shook them. It surprised them. It made them stop and think, because they never expected you to be the one who would step back. They thought you would always be there, always kind, always waiting, always hoping. They believed Your love had no end. They believed your patience would last forever. And when you showed them that you could love deeply and still walk away with grace, it changed how they saw you. Suddenly, you were no longer just the one who cared more. You became the one they could lose. And that truth hit them hard. Now they wonder about you. They wonder what you are doing, if you still think about them, if you have moved on, if someone else is making you smile. These thoughts come when they least expect it. In the middle of the day, late at night, when something reminds them of you, and every time they feel a mix of regret and longing. Regret for not doing more, longing for another chance. They may want to reach out. They may open a message and stare at the empty screen. They may write a few words and erase them over and over because they do not know if they still have a place in your life. They do not know if they waited too long, and that fear keeps them silent even when their heart is loud. Meanwhile, you are learning to live differently. You are learning what it feels like to not beg for attention, to not explain your pain again and again, to not chase someone who cannot meet you halfway. You are learning to breathe easier, to smile without forcing it, to wake up without that heavy feeling in your chest. And even if some days are still hard, you know you made the right choice because you no longer feel like you are losing yourself just to keep someone else. And that is what they see from a distance. Not the pain you went through, but the strength you found. They see you standing taller. They see you calmer. They see a light in you that comes from choosing your own peace. And that makes them realize something important. You did not lose by stepping back. You grew, and they were the ones who lost the chance to grow with you. You never asked for this impact. You never planned to change them. You were just trying to survive. Just trying to protect your heart, just trying to stop abandoning yourself. But sometimes when you choose yourself, you become a mirror for others. You show them what they failed to value. You show them what they took for granted, and that lesson stays with them. So yes, right now someone is thinking about you more than you know. Someone is feeling the weight of your absence. Someone is realizing that your love was not ordinary, that it was rare, that it was something they may never find in the same way again. And even if they never say it out loud, even if they never send the message, even if they pretend they are fine, their heart knows the truth. Let this remind you of who you are. Not someone easy to forget, not someone easy to replace, not someone who loved without meaning. You were someone who saw deeply, someone who cared truly, someone who stayed with honesty. And when you finally stepped back with dignity, it did not make you smaller. It made your value clearer than ever. Keep holding that self-respect. Keep choosing peace over pain. Keep trusting that what is meant for you will meet you where you stand, not where you beg. Because the love that costs you your dignity is never the love you deserve. And the love that sees you, chooses you, and respects you will never need to be chased. Somewhere right now, a heart is learning that lesson because of you. And whether they return or not, you have already done something powerful. You chose yourself. And in doing that, you showed the world and them exactly how rare your love truly is. Now let's speak about what is going on inside their mind right now. They are questioning themselves in quiet moments. They keep asking, why didn't I choose them when I had the chance? Why did I believe they would always wait for me? Why do I feel this empty space inside now that they are not here? They scroll through their phone. They pause on your name. They wonder what you are doing. They hesitate before typing, before sending anything. Because reaching out now would mean facing a truth they tried to avoid for a long time. It would mean admitting that you were real and they simply were not ready for what you offered. And this is the part you need to hear very carefully. Someone being crazy